The orbital station Zephyrian 7 shimmered against the black void of space, a lattice of steel and energy fields orbiting a storm-racked planet below. For most, it was a marvel of alien engineering, efficient, impenetrable, and unyielding. For Elias Korr, it had become a ticking clock. His daughter, Lyra, had been taken by alien admirals, and time was running out. The alert came in the middle of standard maintenance check. The human colony module's comm system flickered to life, projecting fragmented images. Lyra's small form struggling against translucent restraints, her wide eyes filled with terror. The transmission cut off abruptly, replaced by a chilling message in the alien tongue. Elias didn't need a translator. The meaning was universal. This human is ours now. He clenched his fists, the weight of his skull mask, a relic of Earth's feared Deathworlders, pressing against his face. Elias had trained for situations like this, but this was personal. No simulations, no strategist. This was his child. Lyra's alive, he muttered under his breath. And she's not staying that way. Lieutenant Voss, his longtime companion, appeared in the shadows of the docking bay. The Admiralty's patrols are already increased, Voss reported. Outer defenses are tight. We can't just storm in. Elias paced, calculating risks, reading patterns in the alien surveillance grid. Then we don't storm. We infiltrate. Ghosts don't leave footprints. The station was an alien fortress, angular and alien in design, corridors twisting in ways that defied conventional architecture. Surveillance drones hummed faintly along the ceilings, their optical arrays sweeping systematically. The Zha'Kari Admirals had perfected control over this space, but humans had perfected adaptation. Status of bypass tech? Elias asked, flipping through his wrist console. Nearly ready, Voss replied. We can short-circuit their sensor net, but it's temporary. About 3 minutes of clean entry. 3 minutes is enough, Elias said, eyes narrowing. After that, it's instinct and improvisation. They moved into the docking corridor, silent as shadows. Automated turrets rotated lazily, scanning the emptiness, unaware that human ingenuity was already at work. Voss deployed a series of electromagnetic pulses, freezing cameras and drones in their track. Elias checked his pulse, not from fear, but focus. Each heartbeat was a metronome for the plan. Suddenly, a drone buzzed dangerously close. Elias extended a gauntlet hand, the skull mask's optics scanning, and crushed it with a single swift motion. Voss smirked quietly. Classic Deathworlder. Classic human, Elias replied. Unpredictable. The first real obstacle came in the form of a biometric lock. Holographic readouts displayed a complex pattern of alien genetic. Elias knelt, extracting a portable sequencer. His fingers moved quickly, adjusting to the alien tech. Lines of code shifted on the console, and with a soft click, the door hissed open. Keep it moving, Elias whispered. They'll notice if we linger. They entered the main atrium, where the grandeur of alien engineering was on full display. Spires of crystal-like material reflected artificial sunlight, and massive energy conduits pulsed rhythmically along the walls. But beauty held no mercy here. Every corridor was a potential trap. From the shadows, an alien guard appeared, limbs elongated and shimmering. Halt, it demanded, voice modulated in harsh tones. Elias didn't hesitate. A swift strike to the spine sent it crashing against a console. The human moved fluidly, conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary noise. Not killing if we don't need to, he muttered. Efficiency keeps us alive. They advanced deeper, the corridors narrowing into service duct. Sensor readouts confirmed multiple hostiles near the holding cells. Lyra's biosignal flickered faintly. She was alive, but the restraints were powerful, designed to suppress human strength. Signals weak, Voss noted. We're getting closer. Elias's mind raced, considering contingencies. Explosives were an option, but collateral damage could harm the station's structural integrity. Improvisation became their weapon. He scanned a maintenance hatch, small and overlooked by alien patrols. "Through there," he said, motioning. "We'll bypass the main corridor and get the drop on them." The hatch led them into a vertical shaft, and gravity boots engaged automatically. They climbed silently, shadows among the mechanical veins of the station. 3 patrol drones passed beneath them, oblivious to human presence. Finally, they reached the holding chamber. Through the thick reinforced glass, Elias saw Lyra suspended in mid-air restraints, tears streaming down her face. Her small hands clenched at her chest, powerless but alive. Elias's heart tightened. "Daddy's here, Lyra," he whispered. "We're getting you out." A nearby console displayed the Admiral's presence. Admiral Zirin, observing through remote surveillance, a thin smile on his alien face. "The human will attempt rescue," Zirin's translator drone intoned. "It will fail. He underestimates us." Elias adjusted his skull mask, voice low but steady. "Underestimation is a human specialty." He scanned the chamber for weak points. Energy restraints hummed, suppressing strength. A control panel to the side appeared vulnerable. Elias extended a gauntlet, fingers weaving through complex alien symbols, and short-circuited the interface. Sparks danced. Lyra's restraints loosened, freeing her mid-air. "Daddy," she cried. "Shoo," Elias said. "We move now. Stay close." But escape wouldn't be simple. Sensors flared. Reinforcements were converging. Elias grabbed Lyra, and they ducked into the ventilation duct. Alien voices shouted through the corridors, alarms blaring. "Evasive maneuvers," Elias muttered, scanning the tactical feed. Every turn, every conduit, every shadow became a weapon. Humans survived where others would fail because they adapted, improvised, and refused to surrender. As they crawled through the ducts, Lyra clung to her father. "Will they catch us?" she asked, eyes wide. Elias tightened his grip. "Not today," he said, voice calm, resolute. "Not today. We're humans. We survive." Outside, the station roared with chaos, the alien admiral's orders colliding with the unpredictable ingenuity of a father determined to reclaim his child. The first steps of rescue were complete, but the true battle had just begun. The ventilation ducts led Elias and Lyra deeper into the station, each step measured, every breath synchronized to avoid detection. The hum of machinery and distant alarms created a rhythm that matched his heartbeat. Zha'Kari 7 was a fortress, but humans thrived where others faltered, by adapting, observing, and turning limitations into advantage. "Daddy, it's so dark," Lyra whispered, her small hands gripping his arm. "Dark keeps us hidden," Elias replied, voice low. "We use what others fear. That's how we survive." They emerged near the central security hub, a room pulsating with alien technology and surveillance node. Elias crouched behind an energy conduit, scanning patrol rotations. Drones hovered silently, their optics sweeping methodically. One misstep and alarms would summon reinforcements within seconds. Vasa's voice crackled in his comlink. "Sensors show 3 patrol units converging on your location. You'll have roughly 45 seconds before they sweep this sector." "Understood," Elias muttered, analyzing the hub. The floor layout revealed weak points. Power conduits running along walls, a ventilation shaft below, and a secondary control panel with less encryption. "We go low. I disable them from beneath. Lyra, stay close and quiet." Sliding into the shaft, Elias used the human-engineered grappling hook to descend, landing silently behind the nearest patrol drone. With a swift motion, he deployed an electromagnetic pulse, freezing its systems. The drone toppled silently, a mechanical corpse in the shadows. "Humans always find a way," a voice intoned, Admiral Zirin's translation drone observing remotely. "Predictable behavior. How quaint." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Predictable? Not even close. You just haven't adapted." The control panel lay ahead. Elias interfaced with it, fingers dancing across alien symbols. Lines of code responded to his sequences, systems flickering under precise disruption. Cameras went dark, turret sequences paused. The patrol units hesitated, unsure of the sudden blackout. "Now, Lyra," Elias whispered. She slid behind him as he opened the reinforced hatch, revealing the inner corridors. They moved quickly, shadows among shadows. The corridors twisted unpredictably. Elias had studied the station schematics, but nothing prepared him for the real-time adjustments of alien security. Holographic barriers flickered into existence, force fields that scanned biometric patterns. Elias adjusted a portable interface, synchronizing with the alien system. He mimicked the necessary biometric signature, and the fields dissipated. "They'll think it's one of theirs," he said, "until it's too late." A sudden alarm flared. Another patrol squad turned the corner. Elias grabbed a maintenance panel and hurled it, creating a diversion. The squad hesitated, analyzing the anomaly, and he and Lyra slipped past unnoticed. Minutes stretched like hours. Each step through the labyrinthine corridors increased tension. The station's AI monitored everything, predicting human behavior, but humans were never predictable. Elias used that. Shadows, reflected light, mechanical noises, every element became a tool for evasion. "Daddy, I hear them," Lyra whispered, panic rising in her voice. "Good," he said softly, keeping his tone steady. "That means they're close. If they think they're watching us, we're controlling them. They follow, we lead." They reached the holding chamber corridor. Biosignals confirmed Lyra's friends, other captives, were in adjacent cells, but moving for them risked detection. Elias calculated rapidly. A timed distraction could free multiple humans without alerting the admirals. He accessed the emergency power conduit along the corridor. A sharp pulse caused the lights to flicker violently. Alarms blared in distant sectors, drawing patrols toward false crises. Elias whispered, "Go. Quick, silent, stay close." Lyra darted forward, following his lead as he bypassed the remaining security nodes. At the chamber, reinforced doors barred entry. Energy locks glimmered, suppressing human strength, but Elias had anticipated this. He extracted a portable sequencer and interfaced with the lock. Sparks danced, the panel flickering under precise manipulation. Within seconds, the restraints on several cells disengaged, releasing humans who gasped and stumbled into the shadows. "Stay behind me," Elias instructed, shielding Lyra. "We're not safe yet." From the observation balcony above, Admiral Zirin's form shimmered in the control monitors. "Impressive audacity," the drone intoned. "But audacity does not equal victory." Elias's skull-masked visage was reflected in the monitor. "Victory," he replied, "is survival. Something you've never understood." Suddenly, reinforcements arrived from the far end of the corridor, Zha'Kari soldiers moving with alien precision. Elias signaled the humans. "Scatter into prepared recesses and trigger environmental trap." Panels in the walls opened, releasing compressed gas and destabilizing the floor beneath the first wave of soldiers. Chaos erupted, giving them a crucial window to advance. "Move, move!" Elias barked, leading Lyra and the other humans toward the central evacuation conduit. Every step required calculation. Traps to delay pursuers, shadows to hide in, improvised tools to disable patrols. The station's design, meant to suppress intruders, became a weapon in human hand. At a junction, they encountered a patrol squad blocking the path. Elias assessed options. Direct confrontation could alert the entire station, bypass risk delay. He smiled grimly. Humans improvise. He pulled a small gravity disruptor from his pack, a prototype device designed for emergencies. A soft pulse emitted, disorienting the patrol, sending them staggering. Using the brief window, Elias led Lyra and the others through a narrow maintenance shaft, barely wide enough for 3 at a time. Lyra clutched his arm. "Daddy, I'm scared." Elias looked down at her, eyes soft beneath the skull mask. "Good. That means you care. That means you survive. Fear is a tool if you control it. Now keep moving. As they approached the central elevator shaft, their escape route, the floor shuddered from distant explosions. The Zha'Kari were not idle. Their numbers and technology were formidable, but humans had something no alien could replicate: adaptability under pressure, creative problem-solving, and an unyielding will to survive. "Almost there," Elias muttered, tapping into the elevator control. "Hold on, Lyra." The elevator doors hissed open. Humans climbed inside, huddled but moving with purpose. Elias triggered the override, sending the lift toward the docking bay. The station trembled from alien countermeasures, but the human ingenuity that had guided every step now ensured their path remained clear. Above, Ziren's eyes widened at the screens. "This human refuses to fail. Activate containment protocols." Elias didn't answer. He focused on the elevator, on Lyra, on every human life depending on his decisions. For the first time, the adversaries would face the reality that humans were not merely survivors. They were Deathworlders, adaptive, unpredictable, and unrelenting. And the battle for the orbital station, and for his daughter, was only beginning. The docking bay of Zephyrian 7 stretched before Elias like an alien cathedral, its walls pulsing with energy conduits and defensive systems. The station shuddered from internal explosions, alarms echoing down corridors, but Elias pressed forward, Lyra clinging to his arm. The final confrontation was near. Admiral Ziren awaited them atop the central command platform, confident and unyielding. "They've made it this far?" Ziren's voice, carried by a drone's translator, echoed across the bay. "Foolish human. Do you truly believe you can defy the admirals?" Elias adjusted the skull mask over his face, the symbol of Earth's Deathworlders reflecting in the alien energy panels. "I don't believe, Admiral. I know. Survival isn't about size or strength. It's about resolve." Ziren's lips curled in disdain. "Your kind is weak, undisciplined. This station will remind you of that lesson." Elias glanced at the defensive turrets lining the bay, deadly, precise, programmed to annihilate intruders. He turned to Lyra. "Stay behind me. Watch and learn. Humans fight and we survive." The first wave of Zha'Kari soldiers advanced, moving like coordinated shadows, plasma rifles charged. Elias assessed the bay's layout, noting weak points in the energy shielding. Improvisation became his weapon. He grabbed a maintenance hatch, ripping it from the wall and hurling it into the approaching squad. The soldiers stumbled, their formation broken. Elias activated a portable EMP device, a concentrated pulse knocking out turrets and drones momentarily. Sparks flew across the bay. Chaos became the ally of humans. "Daddy, what do we do?" Lyra asked, eyes wide, voice trembling. "Move forward. Timing is everything," Elias replied. "We strike where they least expect it." He sprinted toward a lower conduit, leading to the platform where Ziren's command chair floated. Energy bridges stretched across the bay, and Elias calculated each step, timing his jumps and avoiding laser grids. Lyra followed, clinging tightly. Ziren raised his hand. Shields enveloped his platform, forcing Elias to improvise again. He scanned nearby conduits and discovered a power relay. With a nod to Lyra, he leapt onto the relay platform, interfaced with the alien systems, and rerouted energy flows. The shields faltered. A small window of opportunity appeared. "Now, Lyra," he shouted. She grasped a console, helping him complete the override. The shield collapsed, exposing Ziren. The Admiral's expression hardened. "Impressive," Ziren admitted, voice laced with grudging respect. "But the station itself will consume you." Elias smirked beneath the mask. "Then let it try." The final assault began. Plasma fire streaked past them, but Elias anticipated the angles, using the floating energy conduits as cover. He hurled a series of concussive grenades, destabilizing Ziren's guards and forcing them into exposed positions. Each move was calculated. Each strike exploited human ingenuity. "You fight like your ancestors," Zirin said, engaging a personal energy blade. But strength without precision will fail. Elias advanced, using momentum and environment, flipping off conduits, and landing a precise strike against the Admiral's personal shield generator. Sparks erupted, the blade clanging harmlessly against the disrupted field. "Lyra, stay close," he barked, deflecting a plasma blast with a panel from the floor. The room shook as energy arcs ricocheted around them. Human adaptability turned lethal. Zirin's arrogance faltered. "This is impossible. Humans should not adapt this rapidly." "Not should, Admiral. We survive because we must," Elias said, his voice steady, resonant. He lunged, targeting the control nodes anchoring Zirin's platform. With precise strikes, the energy network destabilized. The platform shuddered violently, threatening to collapse. Lyra watched, eyes wide, as her father fought not just for his life, but for hers. Every move was a lesson in courage, strategy, and the unforgiving brilliance of humanity. Zirin tried to retreat, but Elias anticipated the path. Using a grappling hook, he swung across the destabilized platform, delivering a calculated strike that sent the Admiral tumbling into a containment field. Sparks erupted, alarms blaring, but the immediate threat was neutralized. Elias rushed to Lyra, releasing her from the protective hold she had clung to. "We're almost clear," he said, scanning the evacuation route. The station's outer doors had been rigged for emergency escape, and the human-controlled sabotage he had prepared earlier provided safe passage. As they reached the docking bay, turrets came back online, but Elias had one final improvisation. He triggered the station's structural conduits to collapse partially, creating barriers and bottlenecks for pursuing forces. The human squad, along with rescued prisoners, surged forward, navigating the controlled chaos with precision. Zirin's voice came faintly over the remaining network. "This cannot be undone. Humans, impossible." Elias ignored the drone-transmitted words. His focus was clear: Lyra, the rescued humans, and escape. He and Lyra reached the shuttle bay, the last obstacle between them and freedom. A small, reinforced craft waited, powered and ready. "Climb in," Elias instructed. Lyra scrambled into the pilot's seat, her hands shaking slightly as she initiated launch sequences. Elias secured the rear hatch, scanning for pursuing forces. As the shuttle lifted off, the orbital station receded behind them, partially damaged, but still imposing, a testament to alien engineering and the threat they represented. Elias exhaled, removing the skull mask for the first time in hours. Lyra's small hand reached up, brushing against his cheek. "Daddy, we did it," she whispered. "Yes," Elias said softly. "We did it because humans survive. We endure. We fight back." The shuttle sped into the void, leaving Zha'Kari 7 behind, a fortress that had underestimated the ingenuity and determination of one human father. Above the battered station, Admiral Zirin watched from his command node, humiliated and enraged, forced to acknowledge a species he had dismissed. Humans were not weak. They were adaptable, resilient, and in the vast expanse of the galaxy, they were a force that could not be ignored. Elias held Lyra close, eyes scanning the stars. "This is just the beginning," he murmured. "The universe will remember humans, not as prey, but as predators when necessary. And we'll always come back for what's ours." The shuttle vanished into the darkness, leaving behind the echoes of human ingenuity, the scent of ozone from the disrupted station, and the undeniable proof that no alien admiral could ever fully predict the will of a human Deathworlder.